She describes them as scary, but those threats that Russia might go nuclear in Ukraine aren't yet part of Jonah Wilson's chatter with friends.
No, we're probably talking about our Spotify playlists if we're not in class. Our grandparents and parents who may have grown up during the Cold War era I felt like the precipice of anxiety was a bit higher for that generation.
Those old worries seem to be making a comeback. A vast majority of adults polled by the American Psychological Association said they fear the beginning stages of World War III.
Back in March of 2022, 69% of Americans said that they were stressed that the attack on the Ukraine could lead to nuclear war. It's unclear exactly what the sense of threat is, whether individuals really think that it's going to hit the shores of the United States versus this sense of, just catastrophic changes in the world.
These days, the potential consequences of a nuke, including deaths and contamination, can be easily visualized with a click of a button. Go online, select a bomb, map the target, and detonate.
The traffic in the nuke map has gone up to essentially the highest it's ever been in 10 years. You have a lot of people in the United States and in Europe in particular who are trying to find out what nuclear weapon use might look like.
The hypothetical results are worrying, but fears about Russian President Vladimir Putin acting on his nuclear threats are overblown, says William Alberg, an expert on nuclear proliferation.
I don't think he would mobilize hundreds of thousands of troops at massive cost to the Russian economy and use nuclear weapons. It would be one or the other. The massive political and economic costs, in addition to military costs that Russia would incur with use, all combined to make any nuclear use scenario by Russia seem very, very remote at this time.
This is the painting.
Melvin Hardy curated the Hiroshima Children's Drawings exhibit at the Phillips Collection Museum in Washington, D.C. Japanese kids who survived did the work 2 years after the first atomic strike. Some are still alive. Their scars, physical and mental, a reminder of the horror.
Many of them have been affected by radiation illnesses, different kinds of cancers that they've had to manage or mitigate. Many of them would not want to speak to us. They did not want to relive that horror. There are others who are advocates to say never again. We must advocate against the use of nuclear weapons.
But the weapons won't go away soon. In fact, Moscow's nuclear arsenal will be in full display during the drills it holds this time of the year. The United States and NATO allies say they'll monitor, quote, very closely, as a jittery world stands by. Veronica Balderas Iglesias for VOA News, Washington.